You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Monday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. Did you watch Shark Week last week? Sorry, did you know it was Shark? I can tell by your face.
You're breaking my heart here. Last week was Shark Week?
I found out last night, and I was like, oh, well, at least it's Sunday. Maybe I can watch the end. No, it ended on Saturday. The 13th was the end of Shark Week.
I didn't see one single ad.
You know what the problem was? Is this year was hosted by John Cena. You cannot see him.
Valid.
That hurts the ratings for sure. But I just we are not that far removed from Shark Week being one of the biggest TV events of the year.
Fuck, I'm so mad. I know every year that it's the first week of July. How the fuck did I miss that?
I feel like it's just not, for someone like you, I know you love sharks, always have.
Yeah.
For you, it's still a big deal, but I feel like the meme has died down.
Well, it's weird because I saw, is it National Geographic? They're doing like a shark month, so I did see that at the beginning of July, and I was like, oh, that's weird that they're, but I didn't even think that,
Maybe, do you think that's why Shark Week got downplayed? Because now there's a shark month, and they're like, we can't compete with that?
I guess, maybe.
I feel like, didn't they do a thing where it was like Mike Tyson's gonna fight a shark, and then it was just like CGI and
Yeah,
stats?
it was the same thing as they said that Michael Phelps was gonna race a shark.
That was the thing, man. I hate
they
to
lost our
use-
trust is what they did.
I hate to use the phrase, but I think Shark Week has jumped the shark. They got too silly. It's not about the sharks anymore. It's about the spectacle.
Yeah.
And then now it's just not a big deal like it
Well,
used
all
to
of
be.
Discovery Channel is just discovering that they kind of suck now. Like, they don't have Mythbusters anymore or anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, but I mean, never forget that the Learning Channel is where you go to find out about 16 and pregnant, so...
that is true.
all those TV channels that were like, we're educational programming, they all sold out at some point.
TLC is basically like, it's like pregnant week at all times. MTV is ridiculous week at all times.
Learn to put on a condom is the lesson that they're teaching.
Yes.
So anyway, my condolences. You'll have to wait till next year for Shark Week, I guess.
Fuck Shark Week.
Put it in your calendar now.
Shark Week is dead to me now, dude. You know, the sharks may go extinct one day, but pregnant teenagers never will.
I don't know. They might go extinct too.
That's a fact.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
That was the scene Saturday as Donald Trump held a rally in Pennsylvania and an assassination attempt happened. I mean, if you haven't heard about it, you've obviously been sleeping under a rock.
It has been everywhere. It was everywhere pretty quickly, although I will say it's funny. I heard about it from my 10-year-old.
What?
Yeah.
From Alex?
I got a message from Alex that was like, did you hear someone shot Donald Trump? And it was, so Alex with my son Marcus, they're out in BC. They're hanging out with my parents, my sister.
That is a wild way to find out about the situation.
I guess my sister's boyfriend must have read it and said it out loud.
Yeah.
And so Alex was like, oh, I have to tell Dad. I wonder if he saw this.
I wonder if Daddy knows. Yeah.
I was laying on the couch watching YouTube.
It's a wild message to get from your kid.
It is a wild. And then I opened Twitter because X. I find it to be a wasteland, but it is still probably the best place to get breaking news. And my entire news feed was just about the Rough Rider game that was happening at the time.
Well, it's funny because I had opened Instagram. Me and Courtney were watching some crappy movie on Saturday, and so I just started scrolling.
Yeah.
And I thought, as terrible as it is, I saw the headline, and I follow some like cringy meme pages.
Sure.
So I thought it was like some weird sick joke.
Some sort of oddity.
And then as I kept scrolling, that's
more
all
and
that was
more.
on my timeline, and I was like, oh my God, this is real.
So you didn't find out about it from a 10-year-old?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. That is a crazy way to find out. Like a huge news event is your kid being like, hey, did you know that Donald Trump got shot today?
Yeah, right. Like the last thing that my kid sent me was like a picture of an art piece that they were working on. And then it was like, by the way, did you hear? And of course it just says too, they shot Donald Trump. Who's they? How is he? Is he dead? What happened?
Your
They
kid's
shot shot him.
I don't know. My uncle told me.
Yeah, yes. No, I'm just like on social media.
Dude, that kind of reminds me of, do you remember when I found out, or actually as a collective, we found out that Bill Paxton was dead?
Oh, yeah, because like the trailer for Twisters had come out and we were like, oh, it's going to suck without Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
in
not
it.
even the trailer. It was like we were learning that the movie was going to be made.
Right, yes.
And I was live on this show and I was like looking at the cast and I was like, well, the movie must suck if Bill Paxton's not going to be in it.
Text
and
line.
me and you start riffing
Yeah.
about how bad this movie is going to be. Our text line just lit up and was like, Bill Paxton's dead.
He's
Bill
dead.
Paxton's dead. He died a couple years ago. And I'd never felt so bad my entire life. Like,
Yeah.
because I love Bill Paxton.
Right,
I
he's
didn't
a
know he
great
died.
actor.
And then, like, that was the way that we found out. It was like, oh,
It's
man.
tough, man. Even I saw people were finding out because, of course, this news is so big that it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You may not know this. I think you do. Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. So people were
course he
posting.
is.
People were posting on social media sites like Reddit. WWE Hall of Famer shot in rally and all this stuff. People were finding out from wrestling news sites
Oh, God.
that a former president, potentially soon to be president, had been the victim of an assassination attempt. What a way to find out your news.
Well, and it's weird because, I mean, back in the day, you used to have to wait till the newspaper came out or listening to the radio or watching
Yeah.
TV. It's like everyone's got everything in the palm of their hand so quick. So, dude, there was probably someone buying a pack of smokes on Saturday.
Right.
And some guy was like, hey, did you hear that Donald Trump got shot?
It probably wasn't even that. It was probably crazy about that whole Trump shooting thing, eh? Pardon me?
Dude, our whole world right now is just one big game of telephone.
100%.
That's all our world is at this point.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There's the one video, I feel bad, there's the one Secret Service agent that's kind of getting dragged through the mud right now because as they were bringing Trump up, what is it, like her sunglasses fell off? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
And she's
While
like-
he's yelling about his shoes.
Yeah. And then, like, as they're going, she's trying to put on her sunglasses.
Right.
And she can't, and everyone on the internet is making fun. Like, it's weird how the internet works, and we always find, like, one thing, even in the craziest scenarios, to, like, make
Right.
fun of someone.
A man shot at a former sitting president in the United States, and the internet was like, look at his sunglasses.
Look at this idiot. Yeah. Also, does the Secret Service need to wear sunglasses? Is that a requirement?
I think it's meant to, because they're very much looking around, or supposed to be, investigating the situation.
They don't want
at
you
all
to see
times.
their eyes kind of thing?
I think it is kind of like the same way that dudes wear poker shades.
Because then I did see someone on Twitter, and this is just me falling into the rabbit hole of stupidity. If someone was like, wouldn't it have been better if they didn't have their sunglasses on? Don't you think they would have?
I guess, yeah, right? It depends on, like, what's the scenario, what's the lighting. Like, I mean, it was a bright evening. We were outdoors. Sunglasses does feel like that's the right call. But you're right, it's like when they're in, like, a convention hall or a convention center or the Oval Office and something like that.
Do they wear them in the car at all times is what I'm wondering.
I have to assume, even on like Air Force One, are they like walking up and down the plane, sitting reclined in their seat with their sunglasses
Yeah.
on?
Because I feel like it's Secret Service and then professional poker players are like the only people that always are wearing sunglasses.
That's the only two where sunglasses is theoretically part of the uniform.
That, anyone who's rich inside a club. I guess cops wear sunglasses too a lot.
Cops wear sunglasses a lot. You got the aviators. Yeah, you got baseball players will wear sunglasses a lot.
Contractors.
Contractors have sunglasses on them at all times.
Site supervisors on top of that as well. You know, I mean, I guess like most jobs you could probably rock shades. What would be, here's a weird thought. What would be the weirdest job to see someone wearing sunglasses at?
Eye doctor.
I don't-
If you walked into the office
Yeah.
and the doctor's like, all right, come over here and have a look at this chart. He's rocking sunglasses.
Dude, even imagine going in to just go see your doctor for a checkup and he's just got shades on.
True. And he's like, Doc, my knee's in pain. What do I do? And he's just got the sunglasses on like he's at the beginning of a CSI episode.
He's got the sunglasses on as his cold hands. Cough twice for me real quick here.
No. I need to know where you're looking right now.
Going to go get a massage. Go in the back room. You got to take those off real quick.
Dude, they're not wearing sunglasses when they lead you to the room, and then they're like, I'll give you the 5 minutes to get into whatever state of dress you want. They come back in through the door, sunglasses on, like, no.
Dude, screw massage therapist, an actual therapist. You're sitting across from Buddy, and he's like, tell me how that makes you feel.
If my therapist is wearing sunglasses, I assume he's taking a nap while I'm telling my story.
You can't be sitting there looking like one of the Blues Brothers asking me about my childhood trauma.
Tell me about your dad.
I can't see my own reflection in your eyes. That's not helping, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Maybe we should make a list of places that should be illegal to wear sunglasses.
There are just some places where if you have sunglasses on, and even if they are for the most innocent of reasons, it just makes people nervous.
I mean, in a nutshell, I'd really just like to say inside in general, because I don't care how rich you are. I don't think anyone has ever looked cool wearing sunglasses inside.
It makes me feel like, one, you're kind of like presenting yourself as bigger than everybody else, or two, what are you looking at?
It's a tough commitment, too, because you got to imagine some guys that like go to clubs or whatever, or you see it at UFC all the time. People sit in front row with their sunglasses.
Yeah.
And you realize that you've committed this hard that you can't take them off now.
Yeah, because it would be weird if like the first 2 fights of the UFC card, you saw the dude with the glasses on, and then by the main event, he's got them off. You're like, what happened there?
Everybody I know who has transition lenses hates that 10 minutes when they come inside and they're waiting for them to adjust.
I'll see people with transition lenses who will take them off. They'll be like, I will be blind for 10 minutes and then put my glasses back on.
I would like to say, though, automatically, bathrooms, it should be illegal to wear sunglasses in.
If you walk into the bathroom with sunglasses, you have to know that you've done something wrong.
At least, you know what? I'll give you coming into the bathroom. If you're standing at the urinal wearing sunglasses, that is suspicious as all hell, dude.
You can't do it. That's a huge red flag.
Same goes for change rooms, I would say.
Change rooms as well. The first one I thought of when you started talking about this was indoor swimming pools. Like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
We're not at the beach. The sun is not in here.
Yeah.
You don't need those on.
Yeah, I'll give you it at the beach, but indoor swimming pool for sure. At the bank, I would say.
Yeah, because that's another one. Like, a lot of banks have a lot of natural light in them. They can be very bright, so I maybe get it. But again, after those first minute or so of you coming in, it's like it's time to take those off, because every security guard in this building has clocked you. Hey, weirdo in sunglasses over in aisle 3.
Yeah.
Like,
and finally, I would like to say, when getting a pedicure, it should be illegal to wear sunglasses.
Wait, getting or giving?
When you're getting a pedicure.
Okay, so you're in the chair.
Both,
feet up.
actually. Both ways. You can add that to the list of professions.
Just pedicure spas in general.
You should not be allowed to go out somewhere where everyone has their feet out and you got your sunglasses on. If you have sunglasses on and you're getting a pedicure, I'm assuming you're looking at everyone's dogs.
There's too many grippers out in the nude for you to just be like covering your eyes like that.
It's not the dog park, all right? Cut that out.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There hasn't been too much to be excited about if you're a Blue Jays fan this season, but we always do have the future to look ahead to if you're a Toronto sports fan.
That is true. The most uttered words in Toronto sports fandom. There's always next year.
MLB draft started yesterday, and have you heard who the Toronto Blue Jays drafted?
I didn't even know the draft was happening.
Fantastic baseball name. Listen to this.
With the 20th pick of the 2024 MLB draft, the Toronto Blue Jays select Trey Yesavage, a right-handed pitcher from East Carolina University.
What?
Trey Yesavage.
Trey Yesavage.
How sick is that?
Number 13 in the program, number 1 in your hearts, baby.
Yesavage, dude.
And he's a pitcher, too.
Oh, yeah, dude. Every time he strikes someone out,
I'm a savage.
that's what they have to do.
It's so perfect every single time. Everyone that gets struck out, you savage.
Oh, man. And if you like that, I've got some other names that I want to run by here that if this is just the first round of the MLB draft from yesterday.
Big year of the draft for good ball names?
I'm going to run you some names.
Okay.
And out of a score of 10, I want you to give me from 1 to 10 how many would you give me on the name?
Okay, all right.
The number 1 draft pick yesterday, Cleveland Guardians selected Travis Bazana.
Travis Bazana?
Yeah.
It's a little close to Bazinga for my taste, so I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10.
You're going to give him 7 get-up balls?
7 get-up balls.
Number 6, the Kansas City Royals selected Jack Cagliona.
Cagliona?
That's a good ring.
It's got a nice flow to it, but it's going to take some time for the local announcer to get it right, so that's a 6.
All right, okay. Arizona Diamondbacks center fielder Slade Caldwell.
Slade Caldwell?
That's a baseball name.
Oh, coming straight out of Bedrock. That's a 9 out of 10.
That kid came out of the womb with a bat.
And some wraparound shades on.
Baltimore Orioles selected Vance Honeycutt.
Vance Honeycutt?
That sounds like it's made up from a baseball movie,
Bro,
right?
it is tough in life if you're reviewing things to give anything a 10. Because you're implying that it's perfect. That's a 10.
Dude, if this was still the 80s or the 90s, that guy would be doing training cut videos with the honeycut method.
Oh,
you
dude.
know it, too.
What team did he get drafted to?
Baltimore.
Got to get me an Orioles jersey.
And finally, this is my favorite one of the entire draft. The Detroit Tigers selected shortstop Bryce Rayner.
Bryce Rayner? We are due for a new bringer of rain in the major leagues.
That's what I was saying. That was Josh Donaldson's literal nickname. This is this guy's name.
I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, but get Donaldson to pass the torch, have a ceremony to officiate him as the new bringer of rain, make it a 10.
Between Honeycutt and Rayner and you savage?
You savage is a 10.
The future of baseball is looking real nice.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You know those BuzzFeed quizzes that are so much fun? Yeah, that's not what this is. It's the quiz with Brock and Dalby.
All right, it's Monday, which means it's time for another edition of the quiz. And it either goes very good or very bad. So that's why today's theme is songs with good in the title.
You know, you're right. There are very few episodes or editions of the quiz where I come in at like 3 out of 6, 4 out of 7, somewhere in that. It's either like 1 or 5 or 6, somewhere in that range.
Your range is very off sometimes.
So, therefore, if I get like a 3 or a 4 today, boy, wouldn't that be fitting?
If that makes you feel good.
It does.
We will start off here. I think it should be an easy one.
Okay.
When I say Led Zeppelin, could you give me their good song?
Is it just good times, bad times?
That is correct.
I was so worried about parentheses with them.
No, you're good. You're good. Don't stress it. Don't overthink it.
Don't do that, because you know now I'm going to.
Coming in at number 2, when I say Poison, you would say?
Is it just nothing but a good time?
Are you sure?
No. I'm not sure about any of these.
2 for 2, though. Look at you. Look at you.
One more and I'm good.
We'll go down a Canadian rabbit hole here. When I say Finger 11, you would say?
It's just good times, right? Wait, now hang on. Is it the good times?
Oh, which one do you want to go with?
You know what? I'm just going to say good times.
Good choice.
Oh,
good choice.
You know I struggle. You can't talk me out of the right answer. That's so mean.
I just looked into your eyes. That's all I did.
That's all it takes.
When I say Thornley, what would you say?
Oh, so far so good, right?
There you go. That's working in Canadian radio.
Brother,
right
you bring the CanCon to the table and I'm gonna eat it up.
All right, then. I got one more CanCon.
Oh, damn it. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm curious. Can you get this one? When I say Sloan, you would say?
Slow, if it feels good to it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at the kid today.
Hey, scheduled a lot of Canadian rock music in my career.
Doing very good. Doing very good. You're over your 35% CanCon right now, that's for sure. Now, finally, will he get 100% here?
Oh, don't. Why? You gotta say it.
You should get this one.
You don't talk about a no-hitter, bro.
I need the correct title on this one. When I say Trooper,
you
would say?
I mean, I would say we're here for a good time, and I would stop there, but I'm willing to admit it might be not a long time. There might be I think there's even other words. I'm fairly certain there's parentheses on this song.
Okay.
And I don't know.
What are we going with here?
I'm telling you, I'm going with we're here for a good time.
Okay.
And then I leave it at that, and you're reaching for the buzzer.
Are you ready? 100%.
Wow! Oh my God!
100%.
You were looking at me, and I was just like, what are the parentheses? Tell them to me.
Hey, just remember, win or loss, we're here for a good time, not a long time, brother, all right? Don't forget that.
Stressful time.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Do you have AC in your house?
Yes.
What temperature do you try to keep your house at?
I think we have it set at like 24.
24 is not bad. There are a lot of people that say 24 is a good place, but I saw an article in the CBC from different governing bodies and scientific groups saying that you should be keeping your house much warmer than that, even with air conditioning.
Who's saying this?
So they say the typical temperature for air-conditioned spaces in North America is about 22 degrees.
Okay.
On average, if you go into a house or a building with air conditioning, they're trying to keep it at 22. They say that that's way too low. It's spending too much energy. It's bad for the environment. We should aim higher. 24 degrees is actually recommended by the American Society of Heating, Refrigerating, and Air Conditioning. So you're on board with some pretty reliable experts at 24 degrees. The optimum summer temperature, according to the Canadian Standards Association, is 24.5. But BC Hydro says you should never come below 25. And if you're going to leave your house for more than an hour, you need to turn your air conditioning off altogether.
No. No, do they not know how hot it is right now? Do they not know about global warming?
Toronto Hydro says that 26 should be the maximum summer thermostat setting. We should be setting it at 26 degrees. The World Health Organization says 27 flat is where we should be setting it.
They're trying to kill us, dude.
And we should just add a fan if you want it to be any cooler than that.
They're trying to take us out. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make our houses too hot.
And finally, the Japanese Ministry of Environment says to save energy, you cannot set your temperature below 28 degrees. And Toronto Hydro says, yeah, if you're out of your house, that's as cold as your house should get.
28 degrees?
28 degrees.
Do you want my dogs
Celsius
to die? You trying to kill my puppies?
In South Korea, there are actually laws that keep that as the temperature. Like, if you are found to have your AC set any higher than that, then they will come after you with fines.
How do they know?
Why? Just assuming maybe they can look into your power usage. Like if they see a big spike in your house, maybe an inspector stops by with a thermometer.
They look in your window and see that you aren't sweating buckets?
Just imagine seeing a dude from the health authorities looking in your window like, that's 26. Get in there.
These standards are too high.
I won't lie, I'm a 22 degree guy.
Yeah.
I run a little hot, maybe that's it. But I'm 22 degrees, and if I'm leaving, like when I went to BC,
sure,
I set my timer to turn off for like 3 days in the middle of the week.
Yeah, we do that too.
And then back on so that the house was cool when I got home.
28 degrees is nuts.
I couldn't imagine that being recreational.
No.
Like going to sleep in 28 degrees sounds like a nightmare.
No. What am I, sleeping on the beach in Florida?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Based on the text line, I'm learning that we've got a lot of rich people that listen to the show.
No kidding.
Some of you have got some very cold houses. 17 degrees, 18 degrees is what a lot of people are saying they keep their places at.
Like 17 degrees might actually be, like if we were to build a graph just based on these texts, I think it would be the highest marker. Most of you say you're keeping your house at 17 degrees. This after we saw a study that said that in Canada, you should be trying to be about 24 degrees, and in Japan, they'd put you at 28 degrees.
I will say I'm proud. It's the first time in my life I've been average, so maybe a round of applause for your boy over here. But I do want to give respect. Someone texted in and says, I don't have to pay for hydro in my apartment, so I don't care. Mine is set at 17 all year, even in the winter.
I get trying to get your money's worth out of the hydro. 17 in the winter is crazy.
That's insane. But I will say, when you live in an apartment, and you don't have to pay for your hydro or anything like that.
You really do tend to focus more on comfort than anything else.
Get that rent money's worth. I would leave the lights on. I'd leave the TV on and everything. The landlord landlord's nightmare, but hey, man, if I'm paying around, I'm getting my money's worth.
Dude, last time I was at an apartment that had all the utilities included, I had my computer on 24/7.
Yeah.
He's like downloading stuff and just running as many peripherals as I possibly could.
I lived in a guy's basement where I got free Wi-Fi. I took advantage of that too, man.
That's the sweet thing. Like, once you get old enough to buy your own place, no one's ever like, yeah, we'll sell you this house, we'll give you a mortgage, and we'll cover your hydro for the first year.
Well,
you know?
anyone who's been listening to the show for a while might remember like 3 years ago where I talked about like staying at my buddy's house and changing the thermostat.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
got mad at me. Do you remember that?
That's right.
And I was like, who cares? Like, I get it now. I want you guys to know that I am maturing and I get it. If someone came to my house and touched my thermostat, I would be very mad.
That's just it. As soon as, like, there's the stereotype about, like, kids can't touch the thermostat because dads have that sixth sense. Yeah, because our names are on the bill.
It is funny because I never got it when I was a kid where my dad would always be like, turn the lights off, turn the lights off. But I noticed whenever my mom and dad stay at my place, those sons of guns, they leave I don't know if they do it on purpose, and I don't know if any parents go and visit their kids and do it on purpose, but they leave every damn light on, the TV on, everything.
Your
man.
dad's getting his money's worth. He's like, I paid for these lights. I'll put them on if I want to.
Yeah, I'm like, keep leaving more lights on, man. You're going in a home, brother.
Every time you leave a light on, the quality of care you get in your old age goes down a step.
I didn't say it, but you did.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
All right. That is going to do it for us. Before we get out of here, I do want to remind you that we did start the Brock and Dalby Instagram page, and we are still doing our follow for follow right now. So if you want some followers, help us out, we'll follow you right back. Just look up Brock and Dalby on Instagram.
That's right. And we convinced Meta and Zuckerberg that we're real, actual human beings, so they let us follow people
We
again.
should be up to date on following everyone back so
We
far.
are good.
But before we get out of here, it is time for my favorite part of the day.
Ed's word of the day.
Ed's been busy with the drywall lately,
Yes.
so he wasn't able to get one in this morning, but...
That's okay, because it gives me an opportunity. I look at the old Merriam-Webster word of the day every now and again, and I've been hoping Ed would do this one because it was the word of the day last Monday. Word of the day today here on the Brock and Dalby Show, dicker. A dicker.
Is that spelt how I think it's spelt?
D-I-C-K-E-R. And before anybody picks up the phone or sends an email to the Canadian Standards and Broadcast Council, to dicker is to talk or argue with someone about the conditions of a purchase, agreement, or a contract.
So don't dicker around.
Yeah, if you're ever haggling someone at a farmer's market, or if you got like a Kijiji Facebook Marketplace situation where you're going back and forth on the price, you, my friend, are dickering.
Oh my gosh. If you get into an argument with someone at work today, be like, listen, Bob, I don't want to dicker with you here.
I didn't come here today to dicker with you. Let's just get to the meat of the issue here.
Yeah. If you go to court, be like, I came here to dicker this ticket.
Yeah.
You could use that in a lot of fun ways.
I love the idea of dickering or haggling with the government over fines.
I got tickets to UFC. We're going to go watch the Dickers this weekend.
And I want to add something else. If you're wondering where this came from, apparently the word dicker used to mean 10 animal hides. Like a 10-pack of animal hides or skins that would use to barter was a dicker.
Okay.
So at some point, somebody offered, I'll give you a dicker of elk for that beef over there.
I'm going to refer to 10 beers as a dicker of beers from now on. That's where I'm getting that from.
How many did you put back at the concert yesterday? Woo, I had a full dicker.
Yeah.
Now that you've heard it, you don't like it, do you?
That sounds a little suspect.
Sometimes you got to say things out loud.
Dicker. Use it wherever you can today, all right?
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.